If you've been asking yourself, should I keep renting or should I buy a home? This is the video you want to watch. The first thing I want to tell you is that there's really not a one-size-fits-all answer. So before we get started, if you think I'm going to tell you which one to do, that's not what this video is about. It's just to tell you that buying is not automatically the right choice, and neither is renting. Sometimes it's best to rent, sometimes it's best to buy. And it really just depends upon a lot of things like your timeline, whether you want your home to be flexible, whether you want a stable home you're going to live in for many years. So if you're feeling a lot of pressure and people are telling you things like you don't need to rent, that just throws money away, or like you have to buy a home, I want to slow that down just a little bit and take some of the pressure off, because sometimes renting is just throwing away money and building equity for someone else, but also sometimes renting can be really helpful for you depending upon your circumstances. So let's talk about the case for renting. So what are the positive things about renting a home? Renting can make a lot of sense if you feel like you're going to need flexibility in the next year or two. Maybe your job might change, maybe your family situation might change, and maybe you know that you're going to have to move to a different city in just a year or two. And if that's the case, then renting can give you a lot of flexibility to be able to pivot when that time comes, and you don't have to worry about selling a home and waiting on that home to sell and getting the money from that. So that's one time that renting can make a lot of sense for you. Another time is when maybe you're still building your finances. Maybe you're working on your credit. It needs to get a little higher before you can purchase, but that's your main goal. Maybe you're trying to save money. You want to save for your closing cost or your down payment, or maybe you want to save to have an emergency fund. So if that's the case, then renting can definitely give you a little bit of breathing room. So one thing to consider though while you're renting is to think about, if you are trying to build your credit, ask the person you're renting from, whether that is a rental management company or just an individual that's renting to you, ask them if they are reporting to the credit bureau. Because if they are and you're trying to build credit, then that's awesome. That's a really good incentive to continue renting, because as long as you pay on time, you're building your credit. So those are all really positive things that would make renting a solid option for you. Maybe you're not ready to deal with maintenance. That would be another one. Maybe you don't want to worry about if the garage door breaks or if the HVAC unit goes out, because normally when you're renting, either the owner or the rental management company will take care of those things for you. So maybe you're really not quite ready. You don't have enough money saved to be able to buy a home because you wouldn't be able to properly maintenance the home, or you wouldn't be ready if there were an emergency. So those are all really solid reasons to continue renting. Now let's talk about the downside of renting. So the major one is that your payment can go up. Your payment is not set. If it's in a lease, it might be set for an amount of time, but your landlord can increase that with a notice to you. So this is very frustrating if you're renting, because you've already planned for what you know you're going to pay. And when your income isn't rising at this same pace, it can put you way behind. Maybe you're paying more each year and you're not building anything at all. So this is definitely a negative, especially when your rent continues to increase and it makes you feel like that you really can't get ahead. So this is definitely a downside. Whereas if you had a mortgage payment on your house, even though it might be a little higher than your rent, in a lot of cases, it is actually very similar to what your rent cost was, but it's locked in and you know it's that way. And the only way it's going to change is if you were to refinance or redo it yourself. So you're the one initiating that. This is definitely a major concern of renting. It can be really scary when you have a rent that you've been paying for years, maybe $500, $600, and then all of a sudden your rent doubles or triples and your pay isn't going up. So it's very scary. Definitely a major downside of renting. So now let's talk about reasons that you might want to buy. So buying in Bristol, Tennessee, and Virginia can make sense if you want a long-term, stable place to live. You have your set mortgage, you're going to live there until you decide to sell it. So putting down the roots and having somewhere to live is kind of something people want to have. They want to have that American dream and they want to own their own home. So maybe that's you. Maybe you want to pick the kind of home, like you want a garage or you want a fence. Maybe you want to find somewhere with a swimming pool that's yours, or a backyard where you can build a fire. And that kind of stability and that meeting that American dream matters to a lot of people. So just owning a home and the idea that it is yours and no one is going to increase your rent. No one's going to tell you have to leave as long as you're paying that mortgage. So that's definitely one of the positive things and one of the main reasons that people buy a home. That's what they want. Another reason that people want to buy a home a lot of times is they do have more control. Like we just said, when you rent, sometimes you can't paint the walls. You can't just redecorate or buy new things. You have to either get permission, and sometimes the landlords won't let you. So how you decorate and what upgrades you make, a lot of times It feels really nice when you own the home and you can just go out and do whatever you want to it. That freedom is really huge for a lot of people, and that plays a big decision a lot of times in them buying a home. Another reason is that you might benefit from staying in this home longer. You're going to gain equity over the years, whereas when you're paying in to rent, that's not happening. So if you know you're going to stay in Bristol or the surrounding area for many years, sometimes buying can be a lot more attractive because it's helping you gain that equity and have the home that you want. Sometimes people want to get a home because they just want something that fits them better. Sometimes when you're getting a rental, an apartment, or a rental house, sometimes you just take what's there. You don't really get to pick. So maybe now you can pick more bedrooms, a better kind of layout, maybe the location. You can find somewhere better that better fits your needs, maybe your children's school or your work commute. So sometimes buying is a lot less just about investing and more about just creating a life that feels a lot better to you and your family and meets more of your needs on a day-to-day basis. So those are all really good reasons that people want to buy in this area, and mainly in any area as well. So if you're trying to decide between renting and buying a home in Bristol, Tennessee, Bristol, Virginia, or any of the surrounding areas, ask yourself these questions. How long do I think I'm going to realistically stay in this home? If the answer is just a year, maybe 2, renting might be better for you. Ask yourself, am I financially ready for the full picture of home ownership, not just the mortgage, but all the closing costs, all the maintenance, the home insurance, and any surprises that might happen? Do I want flexibility? Do I want stability to stay there for many years? Neither answer is wrong here. Would buying improve your day-to-day life right now? Would it make you feel better and give you more peace, more space, more freedom to live your life? Am I buying because I'm really ready, or do I feel pressured because my mom and dad told me that I need to own a home by this age? So all of these are questions you want to ask yourself. Something else to consider, especially in the Bristol, Tennessee and the Bristol, Virginia area, is that both do offer a lot of opportunities depending upon your budget, your lifestyle, and the kind of property you want. Some people find that renting is a lot better for them in their area and their stage of life. Others realize buying makes more sense when they can get a clear picture of everything, the cost, the monthly payment, and all of that. And they're able to speak with lenders, realtors, financial advisors to get an idea of what that's actually going to look like for them. And maybe that will make them more comfortable. So that kind of guidance matters because it's really more than just buying and getting that one payment. There's just a lot more to it. So is it better to rent or buy in Bristol, Tennessee or Bristol, Virginia? And the real answer here is rent if you need flexibility, time, or financial breathing room. Buy if you're ready for the stability, the responsibility, and putting down the roots. Neither option here is wrong. This is all up to you. It depends on your lifestyle and your season of life. So you're the one that's in ultimate control, and don't let anyone second guess you or question what you're doing because you know what's best in your life. So if you're trying to figure out now, is it the right time for you to buy? I would love to help talk you through it. I can answer your questions and give you the best information that I have, and also connect you with local lenders, local financial planners to help you see if this is something that you want to do right now. Sometimes the smartest move is just making a plan first. So be sure that you have a good plan in place before you really go and do anything. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe below, and you can leave me a comment if you have any questions or you feel like you need help. As always, I have links below to free guides. You're welcome to call or text me anytime. You can email me. You can click my link and get my free guides, and I'll reach out to you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. See you next time.